Hello and welcome to the Mk4 token setup tutorial. These are the new Mk4 tokens. In this video I will discuss how you can set up a Mech manually, as well as how to set up the pilot tokens and the Eidolon tokens. Mk4, not all that different from Mk3. The most changes have occurred on the NPC side, but there are a couple of changes here on the Mech side that you will need to adjust for to make them work either in your existing game or, of course, if you want to set them up for your new game. Let's get into that. First of all, the thing we need to do is add 3 rollable tables. There's one more than previously. First table we name 0, add one item called miss, and the second one is called 1. One item called hit. It's very important, by the way, that you leave on players can roll from the table. That is necessary. This last title is called 2. It has one item called crit. And this will tell the attack macros whether to spit out a hit notification, a miss, or a crit. And we need those for everything to function. Next up, we can go to the quick roll macro, and you and your players can click show in macro bar for these buttons here. That way they get buttons in the bottom left, which give a couple of functions. First of all, you can roll dice real quick. You can roll invisible check real quick. And the new burn check button allows you and your players to just click this button, click whatever is on fire, and then roll out a burn check real quick. It won't work right now, because this mech isn't set up yet. It doesn't have an engineering stat. So we'll just spit an error right now. And yeah, that is it for that. Let's set up the mech manually. And for that, you will just check this character sheet, duplicate it. I think it's a good idea to always have like a backup sheet. So if things go awry, you can just copy a new one, reset up. And yeah, these are all the 7 things you get from me. Let's open up the mech, rename this guy to test, give your players access, don't forget about that. You can put in your images as you wish, no problem there. And then you have 2 ways to set up this token. Number 1, you can use the macro importer, which is, there's a tutorial in the playlist how to do that. It's very easy. And then you just put in the comcon code here and name the character sheet, but the video goes into that. In this video we want to discuss how to set this up manually. And that is also not too hard. First of all, here are all the stats. You just go to your character sheet, look at your stats, and put them in. So this is a last level 0 Everest with 2 hull. I'll just do it from memory. To show off mainly. Now these 2 stats are special. This is prototype weapon charges. This is only attached to the prototype weapon charges you roll. And this is the death set ranged attack bonus, which is either 0 or 1. If your mech is a death set, this stat is 1. That means it adds +1 to all attack rolls on ranged. If it's 0, your mech is not a death set, and it won't. And it's that simple. And then we have never touch these 10, and when I say that I mean it. These are the attack roll macros equations that target evasion, e-defense and stuff. If you tamper with these, then stuff will break and the sheet will be useless, and you'll have to either copy in. Don't even bother copying, and just don't mess with these at all. Just keep your grabbers off. Now, next up, we need to fill out frame features and stuff. For that, we go to the Excel sheet here. Sorry, the Google sheet, and then we scroll down to GMS frames, and here are the Everest traits, initiative, replaceable parts. Slam them into traits. Everest has no core passive, but has a core active, of course. And at this last level we don't have core bonus, which would go into here otherwise. Next up, let's look at talents actually. talents are over here. And the way you can copy over talents is very simple. You can just select the entire row and then put it in here. If somebody has not all 3 talents, just copy the 2 or 1 they have, and then you need to add the brackets here at the end. For weapons, this guy has an assault rifle, which is under rifle, of course. Has a heavy melee weapon, which is under heavy melee. Under melee, rather. And missile racks, 2 of them. Though, I always just give players 1. If they have duplicate weapons, they'll just have to re-click the button. For systems, we got custom paint job and personalizations. And then this guy has smoke and hex charges, so we'll put those in as well. These are deployables, we'll put them here. Then you have a section for shields, drones, and AIs as well. And that's our mech successfully set up. One last thing we should talk about is how to apply nanocomposite adaptation to weapons. Because of course, as you know, nanocomp is Balor 2, is the mod that makes weapons smart and seeking. But just by putting this mod in here, the macros won't know which weapon is smart and which isn't, and what to do with this. It's just nothing. So you'll need to tell the weapon that it is now smart. To do that, you look at the weapon code here. Assault rifle, for example, will make that smart 28. So you go into 28, scroll down a bit. And there we are. Here's the assault rifle macro, assault rifle, main rifle, blah blah. And here, this thing is called add ranged attack. That means this assault rifle currently pulls this equation to target evasion, and then tell you if it's a hit or a miss. We want it to target E-defense, which is this equation. So very simple. We just go in there. Instead of range attack, we say it is smart range attack. Now your weapon is smart. Now it targets E-defense, and I think we're ready to go give it a test. Accept all that. And yeah, tell the token that it is attached to the character sheet. You can put in HP and heat, no problem. And usually on NPCs you want to put that to none. On player mechs probably not necessary, because there won't be 2 of the same player mech around. Otherwise those HP bars would be connected. Alright, we'll save it. And here's our test mech. Notice the buttons up top, all the menus you filled out. Frame features, all the buttons here. Then, if you've seen how the tokens work, you're familiar with this. Here's all the stuff. Here's all the systems, and here's the talents. Alright, let's copy this guy. Let's see if we made any errors. Let's start with the heavy melee weapon. That is a miss. Let's see if we can get a hit. That is a miss. Let's see if we can get a hit. That is a hit. And let's check if the crit is in place. I won't bore you by waiting till we roll a nat 20. We'll just put the grid to 20. That way the mech has now a plus 20 attack bonus and is guaranteed to roll over 20. And here we are. Now we will check if we successfully made the assault rifle smart by setting this guy's E-defense to 30. So now this assault rifle should still miss. Oh, except if we roll a 40. And roll into high. Need to roll below a 30. So that should be a 50-50. No dice? No dice. Set the grid to 10. Try again. There's the miss. See, 16 misses. Because that is below 30, of course. But should have hit evasion. So we did that correctly. And there we are. The Everest is correctly set up. We even got a smart assault rifle, and we can be happy with that. One last thing I want to show you is the AoE attacks with the missile rack. I sadly was unable to make it so that the AoE displays a crit. It will just, if you roll 20 or above, it will still just say hit. And of course, if the tokens are all named the same, it won't work. There we go. Let's see. In the previous take, I was able to get a miss, a hit, and a buff 20 roll, but I don't think I'll be this lucky again. But we'll try. 3 targets. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, see. So we're hitting. It will tell you if it's a miss, of course, but if it's 20 or above, it will not tell you that it is a crit. Sadly. I tried my hardest, but it just wasn't possible. Shot again with a miss. So one of these should miss, right? Yeah. So that works, and that is the mech. If you decide to put it up manually because you just can't be bothered with putting up the importer, or if you just want to fix something, that is how you do it. Let's get to pilot tokens. Pilot token, very simple. Incredibly more simple than the mech token. Pilot token, you just copy it, name it something. You always want to avoid having 2 character sheets named the same. This will break some of the character sheets. So we don't want to call this guy test, because then some macros will be confused which test we're addressing. Stuff will break. Instead we'll call him test pilot. Again, assigned to all players, it's just easiest. Can of course do that to individual players if you like. I just find that everybody should always see everybody's numbers and stuff. Next up, here you type in the grit, the HP, the evasion, the E-defense. Of course this is contingent a bit on the hard suit they're wearing. Then here you have all the weapons, some of the wallflower stuff. And here are the suits, and you just, you know, what you want, you click as token, it shows token action, and then the token will have that in the top left corner as well. So, pull this guy out, just pilot, here we are. Let's see, we now have all the stuff. And then we can adjust the stats to taste. Should be 6 plus grit, I believe it is. And then evasion, I don't know. Too lazy to look it up right now, and something just works. That's it for pilot tokens. Of course you can use a prettier picture than the Roll20 default. And lastly, we're doing Eidolon. Eidolon, also super simple. Just copy this guy. Again, I recommend having security copies stashed away. Open the guy up, put in the stats over here, same as the mech, including the tier. And then here you have 5-layer menus, basically. And all you do is you go to the NPC macro list, to the Eidolons in the back here, and here you pull out whichever layer you want to use for your first layer, for example, paste it here, accept, do it for the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, close that up, and you'll see Eidolon super basic. Here's the basic stuff they can do. Here are the core rules, and then here in first layer we put the marine layer. Click that. You have all the stuff available here. And that's about it for Eidolons. And now everything's set up. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped you out. Hope you're having a good time with the macros. And yeah, have a good time playing Lancer. And happy hunting. Goodbye.